Start your new character off right in the Elder Scrolls Online, whether it's your first toon or your 20th. Hey everyone, it's Spopes. In this guide, I'm going to provide you with a checklist of the first 17 things you should do on a new character in the Elder Scrolls Online. The video is designed to cover two distinct purposes. One, to serve as a beginner guide for people who are brand new to the game and don't have any idea what to do. And two, to provide a checklist for veteran players who sometimes forget which things they should do when they start a new character. I actually envision myself using this guide whenever I make a new character in the future, so I better make sure it's good. Thanks for joining us today. Before I dive in, please make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Please like and hype the video. And please do become a member of the Spopes Army to support me. That's my membership program. And also check out the merch below the video and on my Fourth Wall page, while keeping in mind you can leave me donations on Fourth Wall and also right here on YouTube in the form of super thanks. Your support means everything to me, guys. Let's dive into the checklist. The first and foremost thing I have to remind myself to do on every new character is go into the settings and fix all the default options that mess everything up. To do so is open up your menu, go to options, and then I'm actually going to switch over to an edited down condensed version of a stream I did recently where I made a new character and went through the settings and changed them to the ones I liked. I feel like that would be the best way to convey this knowledge. So let's jump over to the stream. First of all, I got to change all my settings around. Video is usually fine. It doesn't change anything. Gameplay is the first place you gotta go around and start messing with things. On. Auto loot on. Tutorials off. Camera. First person FOV all the way up. Third person FOV all the way up. And we're done. Interface. I'm at quest tracking on. Nameplates on. Social. Text size medium. HD chat display on. Profanity filter absolutely off. No way. Leaderboard notifications off. Auto decline duels on. Auto decline Tales of Tribute absolutely on. And now combats. Ability bar automatic. Ability bar timers on. Attribute bars automatic. Resource numbers on. Number and percents. Active combat tips don't show. Ultimate number on. Combat text on. Oddity on. Buffs and debuffs automatic. Accessibility no, thank you. All right, so that's how I like to tweak my settings with every new character in ESO. Let me know if there's any other settings you commonly change, whether you agree with the ones that I chose to change. But yeah, making those simple tweaks will save you a lot of pain and heartache down the road. I definitely recommend changing around your settings as the very first thing you do when you make a new character. Next, to me, it's really important on every new character to make sure my drip is on lock. If you're new to the game, it's understandable if you don't have epic drip like mine. But for veteran players, you've got no excuse. Head over to the collectibles menu and the outfit station to set up a unique look for your new character. A lot of the style options in the game will be found under collections, then appearance, and you have a whole bunch of different categories here. Hats, hairstyles, head markings, facial hair, major adornments, minor adornments, costumes, body markings, and then in my opinion, perhaps most importantly, skins, personalities, also very important. And lastly, if you're lazy and just want to transform into something, polymorphs. But that's only half of the battle. To truly set up some epic drip on your character, you'll also need to visit the outfit station. In Auridon, the outfit station is located here at the Crystal Vial. You can also get one of these bad boys in your own home. Just look for this symbol and you've found yourself the outfit station. The outfit station combines all of the armor and weapon motifs and styles you found throughout your adventures, as well as all the dyes you can apply to them. So armor styles for your head, your chest, shoulders, knees and toes, actually hands, waist, legs, and feet, and then also your weapon. Now, when you're brand new to the game, the only outfit and weapon style you'll have unlocked is the one for your particular race. But all the other base racial weapon and armor styles are very easy to get. They're very cheap. So you might as well invest in those early. And then there are tons you can grind throughout the game and a lot more that are also available through the Crown Store. Once you've chosen the styles you like, there are hundreds of dyes to choose from. Common, uncommon, and rare. And what's cool about dyes is all of them are unlocked through the game. You can buy dye stamps in the Crown Store. I really recommend that you don't. But otherwise, these are all from achievements and other sources from actual gameplay. In case you're curious, on this character, I'm using the Transliminal Violet dye that you get from killing Molag Bal in the Imperial City sewers. along with the Fire Drake Heavy style from Battlegrounds, and the Aetherius Bound weapon style that you get from Crown Crates. I, like many, am of the opinion that style and fashion are the true endgame of ESO. Whether this is your first character or your 20th, it's always a good idea to get in on that endgame as early as possible. So once you've set your settings and gotten an ideal look on your character, it's time to pay your first visit to the Stable Master. This is who you go to upgrade your mounts. In Vocal Guard, the stable is located right here off the main Wayshrine. You go talk to the Stable Master, choose a particular riding skill to invest in, pay a pittance of gold, and there you go, you're 3% higher. Just in this latest update, update 49, they changed the amount you can increase your mount's riding skill per day from 1% to 3%. So even if this is your first day with a new character, getting that extra 3% is going to get you between Dolmens and Wayshrines a lot faster. Definitely don't skip that first visit to the Stable Master and keep going back every day. This next tip is for veteran players making additional characters only. So if you're a noob, sorry you can't watch this one. No, I'm just kidding, but you may want to skip ahead. There are some real benefits to investing champion points in your character as early as possible. And if you've already accumulated champion points on another character, you don't have to wait to apply them to a new one. Some of the most important champion points to apply are actually in the green tree. Things like Steed's Blessing that improve your movement speed, Discipline Artisan that increase the rate at which you level up your skill lines, Break Fall that reduces your fall damage, Wanderer that reduces the cost of Wayshrines, and even way up here at the top, War Mount, which makes it so your mount has no stamina cost. As long as you're not in combat, you can just keep going on your mounts without it getting tired out. Over in the blue tree, you'll want to get some of the passive points as early as possible, like Eldritch Insight and Tireless Discipline. Also Precision, but you may want to hold off on the slottable nodes for a while until you really know what you're going to be doing with this build. Same goes with the red tree, just get some of the basic passives like Hero's Vigor. But then I do recommend investing immediately in Bloody Renewal if you're a stamina build, or siphoning spells if you're a magicka build. These will help with your sustain massively as you're going through the initial levels. So yeah, for those who already have some champion points to spare, there's no reason to wait when allocating them to a new character. For new players, just wait, you'll get to champion level eventually, and then you'll be able to dive into the whole champion point system. I do have a guide to the champion point system, and I also forgot to mention at the beginning, but I do have a guide to the character creation process. If you haven't even created your character yet, definitely check out that video before continuing with this one. All right, so now you're ready to go out and start some adventuring in Tamriel, right?
Can I make a Krabby Patty now?
Wrong. You still need to get some training gear on your character first. Training gear increases the rate at which you gain XP considerably. So before you go out and do anything, you're going to want to get yourself some level 1 training armor and a training weapon. If you want to do a magicka character, I generally recommend doing light armor and a destruction staff. For a stamina character, you're going to want medium armor and probably a greatsword. Only if you're planning to make a tank do you want heavy armor. And in that case, I'd recommend getting a sword and board, meaning a sword and shield. How do you get training armor, you might ask? Well, it's going to be hard to craft it as a brand new character. If you're a veteran making a new toon, just make sure you have some training gear in your bank before you start a new character. But otherwise, one great method at your disposal is simply asking for help. There are exceptions, of course, but generally people who play the Elder Scrolls Online are very helpful and friendly. In any populated zone like Auradon, you're going to find somebody who's willing to make you some level 1 training gear for free. You don't have access to guilds until level 10, but that can also be a great way to find someone to craft you some training gear. But as long as you're not really shy, I'd recommend just going ahead and posting something in zone chat or in local chat right after you make your character, just asking for somebody's charity to make you some training gear. And of course, if you're a veteran player with a crafting toon already, you can just make your own training gear and then maybe share some with a noob. But yeah, training gear is essential. Make sure you slap on a full set of training gear before you start adventuring. Also, before you start running around and killing things, you're going to want to make sure that you've gotten yourself a Mundus Stone. You can only have one of these on your character at a time unless you have a certain set, but they provide a pretty significant boost to one particular stat. What you should go with when in doubt is the Thief. That increases your weapon and spell critical rating. Mundus Stones are scattered throughout the world of Tamriel, and if you need help finding one, the new and improved Zone Guide will guide you right to them. Just select Track Mundus Stones, and you will see where the nearest one is. Also, once you get to level 10, you can join a guild with a fully stocked guild hall like Spopes Fam. A properly stocked guild hall will have all of the different Mundus Stones available so you can switch through them at will. In ours, the amazing person who created this house has even put little sky shards in all of them. They don't actually work like sky shards, but they certainly look pretty. So yeah, just get a Mundus Stone and carry on. All right, you can't quite make a Krabby Patty yet, but we are getting there, SpongeBob. What you're going to want to do next is make sure you have enough room for all the amazing gear you're about to get. I've already maxed my bag space on this new character because they made it so easy. If you haven't maxed out your bag space yet, you will see a tooltip in here saying increase bag space. You simply click on it, you pay the gold for it, and you're good to go. When they added this option directly to the UI, they also decreased the amount it costs to increase your bag space by 50%. So as a brand new player, you probably won't have enough gold to max out the bag space on your character. But as a veteran player, you should just set some gold aside that your new character can grab out of the bank to get their bag to max so they can have some time between deconstructing things and selling them off. Speaking of the bank, it's also a good idea to max out your bank space as soon as possible. I've already done that on my bank, which is shared between all your characters, but they also decrease the amount this costs by 50%. There's never been a better time to invest in your bank space. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have enough space for all your goodies. Invest in bag and bank space early and frequently. You'll also find that your adventuring involves, well, a lot of adventuring. And the main way that you get around while you're adventuring is with these handy dandy doodads called Wayshrines. These allow you to instantly teleport between areas within zones or between different zones. So as you run around the world of Tamriel, definitely look out for these icons on your map and sidle up on close to them to unlock them. Again, if you want some help in tracking down Wayshrines, the zone guide is your friend. You can just go to the zone guide, select track Wayshrines, and it will show you where the nearest one is. It's definitely worth it to unlock Wayshrines early before you need them, than to suddenly realize you have to trek across half of a zone just to get where you want to go. All right, we're almost ready to run around killing stuff, but there's probably one thing you're going to want to do before you do that. If you're at all interested in questing, you'll find that a lot of quests require you to either persuade or intimidate NPCs. To do so, you'll need to unlock the Mages and the Fighters Guild skill lines, which is actually pretty easy. I have a video already on how to unlock and level the Mages Guild skill line, but recapping briefly, you just go to the Mages Guild, which in Vocal Guard is located right here, and then you talk to this person, the Magister, and say you want to become part of the Mages Guild. The Mages Guild skill line will then be unlocked, and you can invest in Persuasive Will, and that will allow you to persuade NPCs, which saves you legwork while questing. The process is pretty similar for the Fighters Guild. That's located over here in Vocal Guard. You go talk to the Hall Steward, and you say you want to join the Fighters Guild. Easy enough. Then go to Fighters Guild and invest in Intimidating Presence. And yes, you do have to do this on every new character, so even if you've already joined the Mages and Fighters Guild on your first character, you're going to need to go through this process again on any new characters. It is worth it though, it saves a lot of time when you're doing quests. All right, it's almost time to go start killing stuff. I do see a Dolmen back here just itching to be smacked down. But I do want to take a moment to mention skills and attribute points. As you're checking out all the different skills on your particular class, just feel free to experiment with it as much as you want. Respeccing skills is now free within the UI. This is again new with update 49. It used to cost some money to do this, or you had to use a skill respec scroll, but now you can just invest in whatever you want, try out anything you want, and if you don't like it, you can just go in the UI and respec. The same goes for your attribute points. Say you thought you want to be a stamina character, but you change your mind and you want to do magicka instead. You can just respec your attributes directly within the UI. It doesn't cost anything. So it's really true that the era of free experimentation in ESO is finally here. Just go wild, do whatever you want. If it doesn't work out, you can always just respec for free. All right, SpongeBob, it's finally time to make a Krabby Patty. Let's talk about how to level and where to do it. So at least for the first 10 levels, the conventional wisdom is that leveling at Dolmens is the best option. I tend to like running through the Dolmens here in Auradon, but the more popular area is definitely here in the Alakir Desert. What people tend to do here in Alakir is get into groups, because when you're in a group, anytime a group member in your area kills a monster, you also get the XP. Running Dolmens in groups is not as popular here in Auradon, but you might be able to cobble one together. Dolmens are marked by this indicator on the map, and they flash when that particular one is active. So let's head on over. Good thing I got that Wayshrine. Now, one thing you should do before you start leveling at Dolmens is make sure you've boosted your XP. You can do that either with XP boosting scrolls or with a potion called Ethereal Ambrosia. Oh, this one's already over, so I guess I can demonstrate how to boost your XP at my leisure. So anyway, ethereal ambrosia is a drink that you can craft, that certain players can craft. They have the recipe and ingredients, and that increases the XP gain that you get at different levels depending on the type of ambrosia you have. The one I just drank, Mythical Ethereal Ambrosia, gives you 150% extra XP. And ambrosia will last longer if you get this particular passive in the provisioning skill line. Getting it is relatively easy. You just need like one basic recipe you can buy at a grocer or a brewer, some ingredients, and then you just need to keep crafting that basic recipe until you get to, eventually, it's level 42, I believe, to get all 3 points. But even getting just 1 or 2 points into Connoisseur will help you. If you don't have any ambrosias, you'll want an experience scroll. These are often given out for free as rewards in what's soon going to be the Tamriel Tome system, what used to be the daily login reward system. Once you've been playing for a while, you'll find that you just stack these up. You can also buy them from the store, but I really recommend you don't. It's kind of a waste of money. But some sort of XP boosting item combined with training gear should help you level a lot faster. Also, do keep in mind that certain events throughout the year do give you double XP, so you may want to wait to make a new character until one of those events is running. All right, let's see if we can get to this next dolmen in time. All right, here we are at the dolmen. Usually you have some people at least to help you out. It can be kind of hard to solo these with a brand new character. If you're not finding there to be a lot of other players around, you may want to go ahead and do this in Alakir Desert instead. There are always people running at Alakir 24/7. It's kind of crazy, actually. But you just kill Daedra, go around and do those little pylon things, and then eventually a boss will show up. But yeah, aside from questing, you don't really have any other good options for leveling between level 1 and 10. Dolmens are your best routes. If there aren't many people in Auradon or whichever zone you start out with, just head over to Alakir Desert. If you haven't unlocked it yet, somebody will usually be happy to taxi you over there. So you kill the boss, kill his little buddies that show up, do this one last final little pylon thing, anchor pinion, that's what they're called. Collect your loot and move on to the next one. And yeah, you basically just do that until you get to level 10, at which point a whole new world opens up. One of the first things you'll notice when you get to level 10 is that you've unlocked the Guild Finder. You get to it by going to Social, Guilds, and then Guild Finder. You have to choose a category of guild to find one. So say questing, and then you have your choice between all these different guilds. Some of them are tiny, some of them are big, but most of them are filled with helpful people who will want to assist you in your journey in ESO. Definitely join a newbie-friendly guild as soon as possible. It helps a lot. And if you are in PlayStation North America or PSNA, I'd highly recommend that you join the Spopes fam. That's my guild, and we love helping new people. It's a fun, laid-back environment. We'd definitely be happy to help you out if you're on PlayStation and you're a new player. Something else you'll unlock at level 10 is Cyrodiil. That's the main PvP mode in the game, and while I don't really recommend you get into PvP at level 10, you should head over to Cyrodiil to do the introductory quest. It's quite simple. You just talk to people and you run around. And at the end of it, you're at Assault level 3, which means you've unlocked Continuous Attack, which gives you Gallop that increases your mount speed by 15%. So your mount is going to be slow at first. Getting this passive only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's definitely worth the effort and time. Also at level 10, you will unlock the Dungeon Finder. Your normal daily dungeon is going to be the biggest single source of XP while you're leveling. You only get one huge XP boost per day, but definitely start doing your daily normal random dungeon as soon as you get to level 10. And while you're in the dungeon, make sure to pick up the dungeon quest because it will give you a skill point and a bunch of additional XP. I don't really like running random dungeons after your first one per day. The amount of XP you get from it decreases significantly. I usually go back to running Dolmens, but this is a viable alternative method of leveling once you do get to level 10. Something else I recommend you do once you get to level 10 or thereabouts is unlock a companion. Companions are extremely useful for leveling because when they tag or kill a monster, you get the XP as well. But the quests for companions are relatively difficult to do before you have at least a few skill points allocated. So yeah, wait till level 10 or so, then pick a companion, do their quest, and say goodbye to solo leveling. So now you're in a guild, you have a companion, you're all XP boosted up. What do you do now? Well, that's a subject of some debate. The leveling process from level 10 to level 50, people do it in different ways. I do have a video covering the different ways you can level in the game, but what I generally recommend is that you keep doing dolmens till at least level 20 or 30 or so. At that point, you may be able to tackle public dungeons relatively easily. Those are marked by this icon on the map, and they feature much higher densities of monsters than usual dungeons do. Once your build is cooking pretty hot, this can definitely be a good alternative. On this new character, it actually took me quite a while to get to level 30, just doing Dolmens, but then as soon as I switched to public dungeons, things really kicked into high gear. And I do want to mention there's an upcoming feature called Challenge Difficulty that might be rolled out by the time you're watching this video. That allows you to set handicaps on your character that then increase your XP and gold gain. So that makes one really effective way of leveling, setting your difficulty all the way up to Vestige, and then teaming up with an experienced player who can run you through public dungeons or other activities. As of the time that I'm making this video, challenge difficulty is not out yet, but that's definitely going to be your friend when leveling as soon as it rolls out. All right, everybody, and that covers my top 17 tips for what you should do first on a new character in the Elder Scrolls Online. My intention was to make this guide as comprehensive and helpful as possible while also not making it 3 hours long. There are certainly some things I didn't mention, and that's where I am counting on the veteran members of my community. What else do you usually do when you make a new character? Please leave it in the comments. And also, if you're a new player, what do you need help with? What do you still not understand? Leave that in the comments too. I really appreciate all of you watching. Please remember to like and hype the video before you go, and also subscribe if you haven't. And I could really use your support by becoming a member of the Spopes Army, or picking up some merch or leaving a donation. And if you're new to the channel, you might not know this, but I am a Christian man and I pray at the end of every video. So we're going to leave off with a prayer. Lord, thank you for the Elder Scrolls Online. Thank you for making it such a fun and engaging game for new and veteran players alike. Lord, I ask that you empower this video to be helpful to thousands and thousands of people, that you help them with their enjoyment of the game, that you make me an instrument of your glory and your love, shining out onto the people who play the Elder Scrolls Online. Lord, I thank you for my position here of having a community. I give all glory to you, Lord, for the channel and for the video today. Lord, I ask that you continue to bless me as you have blessed me, that you continue to guide me as you have guided me. And Lord, I ask that you also guide all those who are struggling to follow in your footsteps, and that you guide all those recently departed to your side. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Again, everyone, I really appreciate you watching. Do comment with any additional tips or questions you may have. And before you go, please don't forget to like, hype, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, turn on notifications, because I'll be back soon with new content.